love that neighborhood so much.
Happening now, a citywide manhunt for the person who stabbed a woman to death in the neighborhood she loved. Hear more from her grieving family and see the man police said they need to talk to in this case.
Plus, shocking new video of the gunman attacking a New Orleans East party, what we know about the mass shooting that left 9 people hurt.
And concerns over a new COVID variant, the warning from health experts and the CDC director. The news at 4 starts right now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WDSU News at 4.
Evil has a face, and if you look in the mirror, you see it.
A powerful message from the family of this woman stabbed to death in the 7th Ward this morning. The NOPD tells us the suspect, who was still on the loose, carjacked her and left her to die outside of her home. And right now, police say they need your help finding this man seen right here in this surveillance video because they say he may have some critical information.
WDSU's Aubrey Killian live in the 7th Ward with more on this heartbreaking story. Aubrey.
That's right. Portia Pollock lived right here on North Dorgenwall. You can see behind me a memorial is growing. People out here coming outside still stunned and can't believe that all of this happened right here. So like we said, a memorial is growing for her. She was stabbed to death right here this morning. Family and friends, they cannot wrap their minds around what happened. Portia Pollock, she was a physical therapist. She loved to heal people and would drum every Sunday in Congo Square. Her friends performed in front of her home today in her honor, and her family and friends want to know whoever did this or want whoever did this arrested. They say we need to stop and think about the crime that is growing out of control right here in New Orleans.
Yeah, I would say that I love her so much, which I did tell her. And I always told her how much I credited her for a lot of my success because she was so supportive.
We're here to do some drumming to make sure her heartbeat still continues and it will never stop. This violence has to stop today.
Right.
That's the call out to the community. This has to stop.
So NOPD says they are looking for this man on your screen. He is not a suspect at this time. They want to ask him some questions. They feel he has information about this crime. They also released this picture of her car. It is a Honda HR-V. If you've got any information on this, you're asked to call Crime Stopper. Crime Stoppers, of course. As for Pollock, she was 60 years old. But the group behind me, they've kind of just stopped playing. They're expected to continue to play up again very shortly. So, of course, we'll keep you posted on this developing story. Reporting live, I'm Aubrey Killian, WDSU News.
All right, Aubrey, just heartbreaking. Also happening right now, take a look at your screen. New video of the gunman police are looking for in a mass shooting that left 9 people hurt over the weekend. The city's top cop speaking out this afternoon about that and other crimes plaguing New Orleans right now. WDSU Shay O'Connor live from NOPD headquarters with more on how cops are trying to stop the violence. Shay?
Travis, the superintendent actually announcing several arrests made in connection with shootings that have happened over the past 2 weeks, and also releasing some more information about a shooting that happened Saturday night along I-10 Service Road in New Orleans East. Releasing this video, if you could please just take a look. Now, the chief says all of the men you see here in the video are wanted in connection with the shooting that happened along I-10 Service Road at a pool party. 9 were injured, including 1 woman who's still in the hospital in critical condition. Now, the chief says over the past 2 weeks, there have been about 9 homicides, 23 non-fatal shootings, and 15 armed robberies. The chief saying even with limited manpower and the pandemic affecting the court system, many arrests have been made, including in connection with the shooting last week along Delaware Street, where a 12-year-old was shot and killed. NOPD says Dentrell Brown was actually arrested earlier today. Now, when it comes to the shooting that happened Saturday night, they are asking for the public's help in finding the suspects.
And as I would always say, every opportunity that I get, if you see something, please say something. Again, if you do not want to speak to us or report to us directly, you can do it anonymously through Crime Stoppers.
Now on your screen right now, another picture of the men wanted in connection with this shooting Saturday night. If you do know anything, you're being urged to contact police. You can call Crime Stoppers at 822-1111. For now, reporting live from Mid-City, Shay O'Connor, WDSU News.
All right, Shay, thank you. New today at 4, we are hearing from the nation's health leaders about a COVID-19 variant that already hit India, the UK, and Australia. And now they say it's making its way to the south. WDSU's Harrison Golden talked one-on-one today with the head of the CDC. Harrison, why did they say the latest strain is causing so much concern for us here at home?
Well, Christina, CDC Director Dr. Rochelle Walensky tells me one-on-one here that this so-called Delta strain of COVID-19 is more contagious than the other ones we've seen so far. And with that lies the potential for future more contagious strains down the road, especially, she says, in states that really haven't had as many people vaccinated as we would like. Now, so far, Louisiana has only reported a handful of Delta variant cases. Now, Walensky suggests, though, other unreported cases remain out there in our state. She says it's time cities and states like ours discuss what rules and restrictions they would enact should this variant spread further.
We're watching very carefully both the rates of vaccination at the local level and how much disease, what are the rates of community transmission, and we encourage policymakers to make decisions based on both of those parameters.
And coming up at 5 o'clock, we are going to hear from some of those policy decision makers and really talk about what it would take for this latest variant to not spread as heavily as maybe some of those concerns exist here. So we hear from them coming up at 5 o'clock here at the city and state level. The answers with that. But for now, reporting live, Harrison Golden, WDSU News.
Harrison, thank you. We know President Biden wants 70% of U.S. adults to have at least one dose of a vaccine by July 4th, but meeting that goal is still a challenge. Matt Pritchard is in Washington this afternoon with where we stand when it comes to this rollout.
Millions are vaccinated at this point, but health experts say they can't rest easy until the remaining adult population gets their shot. An urgent call for Americans to get vaccinated.
We have a lot more work to do.
The Biden administration is running out of time to meet the president's goal of 70% of U.S. adults with at least one shot by July 4th. Now, currently, 63.7% are partially vaccinated, and some say it'll be difficult making up the difference.
We're not far off. On the other hand, that target date is looming.
The predictions that I've seen is we're going to get really close to that, like 68%.
The federal officials say the date itself is largely symbolic.
If you don't meet the precise goal and you fall short by a few percent, that doesn't mean you stop in your effort to get people vaccinated. We have always held that July 4th is not the end of it.
As that effort unfolds, COVID-19 trends keep dropping. Hospitalizations have decreased 83% since January. Deaths remain at just under 400 per day, and the 7-day average for cases stands at 13,277.
The first time that the 7-day average of cases has been less than 15,000 since March 27th, 2020.
Experts say those figures are directly linked to the vaccines.
This 90% reduction in the number of cases from last January is because these are the most effective vaccines that we've ever seen.
Now, Dr. Fauci is urging younger people to get their shots, especially as variants like the Delta strain are peaking among the 12 to 20 age bracket. In Washington, I'm Matt Pritchard.
Matt, thank you. One group with high vaccination totals are those 65 years and up. The CDC reports 86% within that age group received at least one shot so far. So if you're here at home and you still need to find out where you can get a vaccine, go ahead and take out your phone, open your camera and point it right at this QR code. A link will pop up and take you to the guide on WDSU.com.
All right, the time is 4:09. Let's talk about the weather. This is a live look outside. The sun shining down brightly on the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Chief Meteorologist Margaret Orr live in the Weather Center. And Margaret, it's been off and on showers, but one thing has been consistent: the heat.
Oh, you noticed that. You did a live shot at noon, right? How was it?
It was very hot for noon. Even I'm one of these people who says, oh, I can handle the heat. It was actually pretty hot for early June.
I know it, and that's because the humidity is so high. So wait, we do have a little shower that moved through. You have to look for it. Wait, here it comes. Up, let me pop it up for you. There it is, moving through the fairground. So it wasn't much. What was a lot was all of that heat. So wait, our high temperatures so far, 91 degrees. And it may even go up a little higher. But the low temperature, 80. We didn't cool off overnight. It was pretty incredible across the area. Let me go over here. For some reason, my graphic's not advancing. So look at this. 90 degrees right now at the airport. You've got a bit of a breeze. The heat index 101. Hammond is 90. The heat index 98. Homa 84. The heat index 94. So tomorrow, actually a slightly higher rain chance. More on that coming up.
Well, the Cinderella story continues. 2 weeks ago, the LSU baseball team's season seemed to be over, but now the Tigers are just one step away from the famed College World Series. To tell you more about the purple and gold and the black and gold, that's because we've got Saints news here too. Here's my brother, sports anchor Fletcher Mackel.
The LSU baseball team opened SEC play just 1-8 overall. 2021 seemed like a lost season for the Tigers. It also appeared that legendary head coach Paul Mainieri would move into retirement on a real low point. But here we are in June, and LSU yet again on the cusp of a World Series berth. The Cardiac Cats winning 4 elimination games over the weekend in Oregon to advance to Super Regional play. One of the guys stepping up and really doing big things for his head coach, Destrehan right-hander Landon Marceau. He pitched on Friday and he came back on Sunday to close out the Tigers' big victory against Oregon, and he did it all for Paul Mainieri.
The competitor I am, I want the ball, obviously, and I pleaded with Coach. We exchanged some words, and Coach really just wanted to look out for me to make sure, because I'm such a competitor, I'll take the ball every day if you let me, So he's just being cautious with me, and which I really appreciate, But I really wanted to win this game and move on.
So now LSU faces the University of Tennessee in Knoxville this weekend. A best 2 of 3 starting on Saturday, with the winner advancing to the College World Series. Now to the New Orleans Saints, who are having mini camp this weekend, but a unique mini camp at their complex on Airline Drive. No real hardcore practicing, mostly classroom work, as well as conditioning and weightlifting. And all eyes are going to continue to be on the quarterbacks, the guys replacing Drew Brees, Jameis Winston, and Taysom Hill.
I think there's obviously a lot of conversation here about this competition and everything else, but I'm super supportive to him, and I've felt nothing but support from him as well, and that goes back to last year when I was playing. Jameis was super supportive. He and I had a lot of conversations, and through that process, and he was great through that whole thing. So that has not changed, and he's become a really good friend.
Following this week's classroom work, the New Orleans Saints will have the rest of the summer off. They'll return to Metairie the final week of July to start training camp. Reporting from my home, I'm Fletcher Mackel, WDSU News.
A congressional report details security failures around the January 6th attack. I'm Bree Jackson in Washington with a look at what went wrong and why some lawmakers say the report didn't go far enough.
And then coming up all new today at 4:30, if you haven't been outside or listening to Margaret yet, know it is hot, okay? We've got the simple things you can do to cut down your AC bill as it starts to work overtime this summer. As we go to break at 4:14, giving you a live look at traffic on this Tuesday. You're watching WDSU News at 4. We'll be back.